Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? Okay, so I'm hopping on here because I want to go over some things with you. I'm excited about this because I think it's questions that a lot of us have. And so I figured before I go to Costco, hey, I'm going to hop on to the page and I'm going to talk about this stuff. Okay, all these things that we have in our heads that we want to kind of know what the difference is, but sometimes we're afraid to ask because it's may seem as if we're supposed to know it and we just really don't. Okay, so don't feel weird about that. I feel the same way sometimes. Okay. Hi, Michelle, how are you? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. And when I say that, I truly say that with the full belief and the knowledge to do that. And I do that. I am definitely a pit bull, go-getter, and I get things done. I'm not in it to be friends, and I'm definitely in it to get the child or children what is needed and appropriate for them and them specifically. Okay? So that is what I do. All right, so I attend IEP meetings with parents. I do all the emailing, which they love me. They love me, guys. Just kidding. And I do all that fun stuff. So anyway, let's go through some of this for a little bit, okay? I see you guys keep saying hi. I'm going to say hi to you in just a minute. Post a 1 below if it's your first time catching me live. 1 below, okay? Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. 2 below, okay? Hi, Inez. How are you? All right, so let's talk about this stuff. Oh, my gosh. All right, so remote instruction. All right, so full remote instruction is probably what your child is doing right now, okay? That is when the state is required to teach your child online, all right? Live instruction. Hey, guys. How are you? How are you? Okay, so yes, post a 1 below if you're first through third time catching me live. After 3 times, you're no longer a newbie. Okay, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Okay, so we have lots of people on here. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, so full-time remote instruction is probably what you're doing now, right? So that's when the state is guiding the learning live online, hopefully in accordance to your child's minutes in their IEP, okay? So for those of you who do not know what minutes are, grab that IEP, bring that to the Q&A tonight over in the group, okay? Tonight is the Q&A over in the group, all right? So make sure that you join us there, and that is a question that you can bring up, okay? So you need to understand that remote instruction is kind of what's going on right now, and you have to adhere to that, and yet you are not the teacher, okay? In remote instruction, okay? So just know that. All right, keep in mind that state case law and regulations, home instruction, homeschooling, there is very different unanswered questions that are going on, and so we're going to get those answered today, okay? And IDEA is in full tact. Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't. It's intact, okay? It is intact. It is not broken apart. There's not just a piece of it getting, given to you. It is all there for you to use, okay? It is law. It is written in black and white, guys. All right? So your IEP must be implemented with fidelity to the greatest extent possible, okay? All right. So, yes, keep posting a 1 below if you're an oldie, no. 1 below if it's your first through third time. Somebody needs to, rewire my brain this morning. And then post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Okay, so full-time remote instruction is what your child is more than likely doing now, unless they are doing hybrid where they're part in school, part not in school. Okay, and then it's live instruction, face-to-face, all right, like this, like a Zoom or a Google Meet, all right? and your child should, like 9 o'clock has such and such class, okay? And the district sets the schedule, not you, okay? So that is remote instruction, full-time, remote learning, live, school district sets the schedule, okay? All right, let's move on. So remote instruction, okay? So what you need to understand about remote instruction is that is specific to children with special needs, okay? All right, so remote instruction for special needs is different from remote instruction for Gen Ed, okay? So Gen Ed is where the school district sets the schedule, all right? With special ed, okay, you actually get to help set that schedule for your child, okay? Because what happens? Our children need sensory time. Our children need breaks. Our children have BIPs. Our children have all of these other things going on, all right? But there are set times in which your child has to be there and present and available, okay? So you want to make sure that that is happening. So I'm putting it down because I want to talk about that in a second. All right, so districts should be talking to you in your IEPs about remote learning and remote instruction and what's going to work, okay? Because somebody has to be there with that child. Your child's not in high school where they're 13, 14, 15, and 16, and they can get online by themselves, right? So you have to be present, and so there has to be that flexibility like that, okay? Let me turn my phone off. Sorry about that. So normally I turn my phone off. I didn't turn my phone off. So make sure that there's no dictation as to you have to be here at such and such time when it comes to SPED. All right, Gen Ed is different, guys. All right, they got schedules. They have certain things, certain times, and that's just how it works. But with SPED, it is different. All right, it is different. All right, so just know that. All right. Next, homeschooling. All right. So out of school instruction, that is when a child's parent, you or grandparent or somebody who is in charge, okay, that's when they withdraw their child from the school system, all right? You can't have an IEP if you've withdrawn your child from school, okay? So you have to make sure that you understand the difference from home or out of school instruction, home instruction, and home schooling. So we're going to go through those three. All right. So home or out of school instruction. All right. I have all my notes in front of me. So I've I did all this last night, like last minute, because I was like, this is something everybody's got to hear about. So parents provide a doctor's note. Your child can be at home because of medical reasons, typically for if it's necessary for 10 consecutive days or more, and it's usually due to a chronic condition, okay? And then at that time, that's when the teachers provide instruction to that student at home or virtually online, okay? And if it's going to exceed 30 days, then typically you have to reconvene, have another IEP meeting every 30 days. So if your child, let's just say, has diabetes, all right, and one of my clients, actually, her child has diabetes, and he is home, okay, and so every 30 days, he and she and the parents have an IEP meeting, you know, and the doctor has to re-sign this form saying this student has to be home because of XYZ medical reason, all right, so that is home or out of school instruction, meaning they are at home or they are in the hospital. They could be in the hospital, okay, for a long period of time. And so that is important to understand. And that is still something that has to be maintained by IDEA. All right. So that is due to typically home or out of school instruction is typically due to a health chronic condition. Okay. All right, so home instruction, all right, that's placement decisions made by the IEP team. It could be because your child has some serious behavior issues that are going on and that you are trying to come to an agreement on what needs to be done. It could be where it's just where your child is going to be safest at that moment. And it's really a IEP-based decision on what is appropriate for that child and what is important in making that decision, okay? And that can be different for all students, okay? The maximum amount of time for home instruction that can be approved typically is 60 days. And instruction cannot include, it has to include at least 10 hours a week, all right? No less, all right? And that's home instruction, all right? And that's by law. That's typically state and IDEA. All right, do you have any questions in regards to this while I'm going through this? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Inez, Alexandra. Is it Examar Riviera? Hello, hello. We have Lori and Veronica and Kathy. Your daughter's in school. Where are you located? Is it Mothline Williams? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Fancy, how are you? How do you ask for an independent reading program for behind thanks to school? He is in 4th grade. That's we'll talk about that. He is behind comprehensive executive function, etc. Okay. All right. So we also have Christina. Hello, hello. Christina, you need to put up your new picture. Hello. Your new picture with your new do. It looks awesome. Logie, is it Logie? Hello, hello. Alessandra says, my son has 2 days in person and I'm fighting for 4 days. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just had an IEP yesterday where we asked for an extra day out of they do like A students 2 days a week, B students 2 days a week, kind of thing. And we're adding one more day, but they were really cool about it. So we got that done. Handled that yesterday. Hey, Shauna. Hello, hello. All right. So let's talk about this some more. So homeschooling that's when you just withdraw your child from school. Okay. That's when you decide, hey, I want to be the teacher. I want to participate in, there's so many homeschooling programs out there right now. And God bless anybody who decides to homeschool their children. I would literally go batshit crazy. Seriously. I really would. I don't know about you. But I could never do it. I couldn't, and I'm a teacher, but, I can't, I couldn't do it. But I have friends who do it and they're so freaking awesome. And, I have a friend in Maine. She actually used to be Skylar's old, swim instructor. And she has like desks for all 3 of her kids and they're young. Some of them are even really in school and she's homeschooling them and she's amazing. All right. She's amazing. But pursuant to IDEA and child find requirements, students on home education program, they cannot be offered a IEP. Okay. And parents, do have the choice to, you hear my dog like barking at me. He's like, hello, you're right in front of me, mom. All right. So they are not entitled to FAPE. All right. That's your job. And they are not entitled to an IEP or 504. All right. Now, at any time, okay, you are more than welcome to say, I no longer want to homeschool my child. And then you, of course, get them put into school, public school, just like any other child. Okay? So that is homeschooling. Withdraw your child completely from school. You no longer have the rights that public school children have. All right? You're doing it on your own. You're doing a curriculum and home education program that does not have to be approved by the school district. All right, but there's many of them out there, and there's tons of really, really good ones. Pick a good one if you plan on homeschooling. Do a lot of research and pick a good one. But and if you want some suggestions on that, let me know. I could definitely get with my friend that I was just telling you about, because she, like I said, she's phenomenal. It's just something I could never do. So home instruction, again, as appropriate. For the location to be at home. Yes, special education can be provided. Yes, IEPs, 504s are included in that. That is at state law and federal law, which is the idea. And placement decisions are made by the IEP team, and it could be for so many different reasons. I don't even know where to start with that one. So just know that it could be due to your child got, suspended. All right. And it's been over 10 days. And they have to have instruction after 10 days by law. FAPE has to then be provided. So if your child is suspended, let's just say for 45 days, 40 days, all right, then they have to be provided what's called home instruction. And that has to be given to them every day, as if they were in school come day 10. Okay. All right, let me let my dog in, guys. Hang on one second. Okay, so he's in here, probably gonna raise hell. Okay, so home or out of school instruction. We're reviewing this again because I want you guys to make sure that you are grasping this. All right, so that's due to a health chronic, typically condition. It could be diabetes. It could be anything. All right, anything. And that can be home or out of school instruction, meaning a hospital setting, okay, a rehab center. Something could have happened where that child is in a place where they can still learn, but they just are not going to be learning exactly at home, okay? It may be just somewhere else out of school, all right? And it must be physician approved. The school district helps establish the written plan of action, as do you. An IEP can be rewritten for this. And, one thing I've advised one of my clients, I have two clients who actually have this situation, where you need to have two separate IEPs. People are like, you can have two separate IEPs? You can. Let me tell you how that works. It's really one IEP, but they twist and turn. All right. You know how I've always said to you guys, IEPs are flexible and pliable. You can make them and mold them into whatever you want. Whatever you want. And I mean anything. Anything. Rocco, really? Do you have to get into the trash? Seriously? Okay. So when I say you can, Rocco, come here. Anybody else have dogs? All right. So you can make it whatever you want. Whatever you want. Anything can be put into your IEP. I've joked with you guys and said that you can put in there that every morning your child gets a donut at 9 a.m. That can be put into your IEP. It sounds funny, I know, because I'm making it sound funny. But I'm trying to help you understand that that's what I mean by anything can be put into your IEP. It can be a potty training schedule can be put into your IEP, meaning like it could say at 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 10, 11, 11:30, etc. that your child is physically taken to the bathroom. And then it could even be put in there where A, B, C, D, E, F, G happens in the bathroom. And then they go back and then it happens again 30 minutes later. Whatever needs to be put into the IEP based on that child's needs and their impact of disability needs to be put into the IEP. Okay? And everything has to be supported. I was in an IEP yesterday, that same IEP where it was a great IEP. And the teacher said, yeah, the student's really doing well, and she's reading, and as long as she has help and support, she's doing really well. And we said, yeah, everything we were asking for was written in the IEP and supported by them and what they said. And I said, yeah, because you guys said that she needs a lot of support and lower classroom, and so virtual learning is actually somewhat working better for her because it's smaller classrooms, and because this isn't a high impacted child, instead of the gen ed setting with 28 to 30 some students. And he said, yeah, that is working much better. She hasn't had anxiety, she hasn't had any of these issues, and this is pretty big. This is nice that this is happening. And so I said to him, I said, but let me ask you, what level is she on? What grade level is she on for reading? Can you tell me? Rocco? No, sir. Let me get him real quick. So I'm going to keep talking. Okay, so what I mean by that is if your child is reading below grade level, okay, then you need to make sure that you know where they are, okay? Don't just accept, your child is below grade level. You need to know where they are. So when I asked him, I said, and grandma knew, all right, she's smart. All my parents are just so smart. I don't know why they think that, they're not. Because sometimes they're like, oh, I'm so glad I hired you. Well, I'm glad you hired me too, but you guys are super smart. Okay, so she said she knew where she was at. But so we asked, where is this child? And he said, I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable, saying where she's at. I said, well, that's not acceptable. You're the teacher. What do you mean that you feel comfortable telling us where she's at? You just said that she's below grade level, okay? But you're uncomfortable telling us where she's at, yet just 2 seconds ago you said you had all this data. I'm confused. So then he said, it caught him off guard, big time. And so he finally said, okay, I would say a 3rd or 4th grade level, which is several levels below the grade she's in. So it's eye-opening when you get them to admit where the student is, that progress is possibly not being made, and what needs to happen, meaning we need to manipulate that Play-Doh and that IEP and play with it and figure out what's going to work to make it look beautiful, okay? And that's what has to happen in every IEP. So in any scenario, whether you are homeschool or out of school instruction, which is where your child is sick or there's a chronic condition and they're out of school for 10 or more days or more than 20 days. And then that's when a doctor has to approve it. The team gets together typically every 30 days for it to be reapproved. And as long as there's that doctor's signature, everything's good to go. That's a state law and federal law in all states, okay? Every 30 days you have to get together. Has to be physician approved, okay? And again, home or out of school instruction means it could be at home or it could be in a hospital, etc. And FAPE has to be provided. The idea has to be adhered to, and all laws are in play. Okay? Again, home instruction. That could be, just giving you an example, that can be where, that is what's happening right now. Okay? Home instruction, virtual instruction, same thing. Same verbiage. All right, home, virtual, home instruction, home, virtual instruction. Okay. All right. That's when typically more than 60 days, the kids are going to be learning from home. And that's why many of the school systems, when they started August, September, whatever, it was at least until October, 60 days, where your child was specifically going to be at home before they started in school or when they started hybrid. Okay, so it had to be a 60-day thing. And so IDEA and FAPE are still in play. State laws are still in play. And that is when your child is, just like home instruction, that is when, your child is learning at a specific time each day. And it just works and is fine. And that's for a gen ed student. For a non-gen ed student, a special ed student, that's when you and the school system get together in your IEP meeting. You work out what a schedule can look like and how it is going to be effective, because they can't expect to do virtual instruction based on speech therapy's schedule only if mom can't be there, or if dad can't be there, or if somebody can't be there. All right, so it's important that remote instruction is understood, that there is a difference between remote instruction for gen ed and remote instruction for special ed. And remote instruction is virtual instruction, same thing, okay? And then, of course, you have that home or out of school instruction, and then you have homeschooling, okay? There's also home instruction, okay, that is not virtual instruction. Okay, so the home instruction, remote instruction for special ed or gen ed that is virtual is different than home instruction that is appropriate in regards to implementing an IEP appropriately, meaning a student being kicked out of school for over 10 days because of behavior that has an IEP or a 504. Then within those 10 days, it has to be put into play, where on day 10, FAPE is being provided, okay? And then everything goes into play at that time. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. That is how it works. And there's no hiccup there, all right? So I will explain this further if you guys need that. But just remember, home instruction is different from home instruction gen ed. All right, so gen ed, it could say at 9 to 10 o'clock, they do math. From 10:30 to 11:30, they do reading, okay? And it goes throughout the day. Well, for special ed, you actually could be given a schedule, okay? But you have actually a say. You're part of that IEP team. It's different, all right? So at school, no, you don't get to pick, okay, this, and this. But at home, you do, because you're dealing with a child that possibly cannot sit without you present, all right? And you could have 4 kids. And if you're working with one, you can't be working with the other. So there has to be some flexibility there. And that's what I'm talking about, molding that IEP into play. And that's where amendments can come in regards to your IEPs when it comes to remote learning. Remote learning is virtual learning, same thing, okay? So remember that. Hello, Logie. Hello, Precious. Wow, it's been a long time. And hello, Tracy and Susan. I had to put my teenager from 9th grade within 4 months. It was awful, but now homeschool him to save his life. Someone else's. School just wouldn't listen. Wow, okay. Well, I'm glad it's working out. That's really good. How's homeschooling going? Is it working? Precious says, what if it's parents' choice to not send due to COVID and underlying health issues? Well, a lot of schools right now are giving you the option. They're saying you could do hybrid, or you can stay and do virtual learning. Are you saying that your school is straight up 100% BAM in school? There's very few places that are like that right now, but is yours one of them? But you do have a choice. But if you choose, like, I know that there's hybrid, there's in school, and there's virtual, which is remote learning. If your school is 100% in school and you chose that, and then you're saying, oh, no, I'm not sending my kid to school, then you can have some serious truancy issues going on. So you have to put everything in writing, and you have to make sure that you got your T's crossed, I's dotted, however the hell you say that stuff. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm good at analogies, not that kind of stuff. He's challenging, but he's more receptive, and I don't worry about jail time so much anymore. Oh my God, you're like my type of mom. Oh my God, that's funny. I don't remember. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Oh my God, that's so funny. I can't help but laugh at that. That's funny. I've always said that, you know. I'd do anything for my kids, though. I think you guys know that. All right. Thank God most of them are grown except Skylar. So, all right. So I got something else to tell you about. All right. So with stress and anxiety, does your child have stress and anxiety? possibly ADHD, even autism, any of the disabilities that impact you in a way where you just kind of get that kind of feeling, or I know I do sometimes, like, even with, what I do for a living, which is help parents, like if I have so much on my plate, I'm a perfectionist, and, I'll stay up all night, as you guys know, if I have to. And, I get that I got to get all this done, and I don't have disabilities, and I still get that way. So think about a child with, autism or ADHD or anxiety or any other disability that includes stress-induced factors, really, okay, that's going to impact them in school. The key 3 things that you need to make sure of, all right, and call it the POS, P-O-S, predictable, organized, structured. Those are the 3 things your child must have in their environment to function. If there's any type of anxiety, autism, or a disability that has to do with sensory too, not just sensory as in touch, there's sensory as in what's going on around me, okay? So stress, anxiety, issues with impact of disability in the educational setting, which your remote learning virtual setting is the educational setting right now, you have to have POS. You have to have a predictable thing going on. Everything in life needs to be predictable to them. What's going to happen next? What can I expect at 2:30? What can I expect at 3, at 4? When kids know that, that's where the repetitiveness sometimes comes with autism. I know my daughter does that a lot. Mom, what's next? Where are we going? What are you doing? She'll ask, her new thing is today, because she's at Linda Mood Bell, as many of you know, so she's learning the vocabulary and all. Oh God, I can't even rave enough about that place. So she's saying to me, Mom, what are you doing today? She knows she'll say, today I have speech and I'm going to Linda Mood Bell. I'm going to go read and do pictures. Well, guess why she's going to read and do pictures? Because she's at that beginning part of, how Linda Mood Bell does things with reading, which is you have to have vocabulary to be able to read. Then you have to be able to formulate pictures from what you are reading. What does that vocabulary word mean? What does that say? What does that show you in your brain? And then you move on to like decoding and all these other fun things, which she's doing as well. And they even have her draw the pictures that she's formulating in her brain from what she's reading. It's freaking genius, guys. Look up Linda Mood Bell. They're freaking phenomenal. Love them. And I'm picky as hell. So anyway, you have to have POS in your child's life, okay? And the school life for them to function if they have anxiety and apprehension and all the things that are going on today is probably spiking what that is. And so I want to help you with that. And in your IEPs, you have to make sure POS is in there, okay? You need to make sure that everything's predictable. You need to make sure that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, when they have virtual learning, just hypothetically, that they know at 9 to 9:30 is reading. That they know that from 9:30 to 10, they get a break. They know that from 10 to 10:30 that they have math, okay, with Miss So-and-so. All right, that's predictability. And it creates organization, which is where the O in POS comes in, okay? And then structure is there as well, okay? I am a structure-based person, and I like structure. I am very type A. I am a perfectionist. I am very, okay, I want to, let's try, but I'm flexible, where some of our kids are just not. So they have to have predictability in their life. They have to have organization in their life, and they have to have structure. So in your virtual remote learning, again, same thing, you must have organization, you must have predictability, and you must have structure. All right? If in your child's schedule there is not predictability, there is not organization, and there is not structure, it needs to change, especially if it's affecting your child. So just take that as a tip. If it's affecting your child and POS is not there, predictability, organization, and structure, and it is affecting your child and impacting them, then you need to make it change. Period. Or FAPE isn't being provided. Okay? Because their emotional stability, that stress factor, that anxiety, that apprehension that they get is affecting them and their learning. Okay? All right, there you have it for today. I'm done. Have a nice day. Do you guys have any questions before I hop off here? Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you share this. If you're catching the replay, welcome. Post a 1 below. If you are new catching me live, it's your first through third time. After third time, you are an oldie but goodie, and you need to post a 2 below. Okay? 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. 1 below if you are new. First through third time catching me live. And I am excited to have you. If you haven't joined my group, it's put into the search bar right now. Just do it right now. Autism Mama Rocks IEP group, and join the group. Tonight, I am doing at about 7:30. I will post the time, I promise. But you guys know I'm late. You guys know I'm late typically. But I'm going to try not to be late. All right? You guys know I just had surgery. So I'm like trying to, get this going. But I'm doing a Q&A. I do it only on the group. Only on the group. Q&A live, where I just sit here and you guys ask questions and I answer them. I'm just kidding. I don't just sit here. I never shut my mouth. Okay, so we got everything going. Everybody's posting. Thank you. Hey, Cassette, how are you? And so make sure that your child has POS, predictability in their virtual learning, organization, and structure. If not, change it right now. Okay? It is affecting them. Their emotional well-being and their mental well-being is important, just like ours is, okay? Ours is very important so that we don't go psycho, just like, Tracy was saying that she doesn't have to worry about going to jail anymore. That was hilarious, Tracy, by the way. That was great. Hi, Sally. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, so let me say, Tracy says, when communicating via text with my 5th grade SPED teacher, please don't communicate via text. Please don't. Don't communicate via text. And unless necessary, don't communicate on the phone. No. I know. I sound like a great big bee, right? Stop doing it. I'm telling you. Stop doing it. Okay? Because if you ever come to me, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have it in writing? Do you have it in writing? You have got to have it in writing. When that day comes where perfection and getting along and I guess y'all going to the movies and being friends is no longer working, and you come to me saying, oh shit, this isn't working, my child is not making progress, my child's 2, 3, 4, 5 years behind, they're not giving my child services, they're withdrawing services, whatever it is they're doing, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have it in writing? I'm going to leave it at that. Let me finish reading. Regarding having my son getting in trouble, she accidentally sent me a text meant for his gen ed teacher. Of course, you boy is having trouble because into research haze. So when I asked for clarification, she says they assumed asked their students wouldn't remember instruction from the day before. I feel like she singled my child out and assumed he'd fail. I plan to bring this up in the IEP. I asked for Friday. He's failing. But how should I approach this? Don't text. Can you reword that for me, Tracy? Or PM me? So I don't want to answer it and not be accurate in what I'm saying. I have an idea of what you're saying, but I'm confused with, okay, she thought she was responding to me, but she was responding to somebody else. I feel like you singled out, but you're going to bring it up. Just kind of sum that up for me so I can answer it right on the dot. Inez, my son is in 8th grade and he is at first or second grade level in reading. Oh, I'm so frustrated hearing this. It's not you. It's not you. This is the same issue that I dealt with. Because I've been fighting for reading intervention, and this school year is not provided either. The school provided ESY services last summer and reading, and he did very well, but I can't wait for summer to fight for ESY services and address what this school year, okay. They reevaluated my son 3 weeks ago. Okay, so when they did the reevaluation, what did they do? Two ones that I really like to ask for, and this was, I had an IEP meeting yesterday that I was just talking about in the beginning of this live, okay? And I was explaining some things that happened in it. It was actually a really good IEP meeting, and their lawyer was there who with me in the beginning, and then we did like a 180. Is that what it is? 180 or 360? No, 360 is all the way around. So we did a 180. All right. We went from, we were clashing, man. We were going at it. And then we had complete, utter respect for each other out of the knowledge base that we both had. And I'm sure she looked me up. I looked her up, whatever. But like, she knew I knew my stuff. She looked me up on Facebook. You can tell when people look you up on Facebook because their name starts coming up as like, suggestion for friends or whatever. It's kind of funny. But anyway, long story short, we had complete, utter respect for each other at that IEP meeting. And I talked a lot about reading. And one thing that I said was 2 reading evaluations that I love is the CTOP 2, C capital, T as in Tom, O, P, all capital, -2. That's really big on phonemic awareness, and it's a reading evaluation that will 100% hone in on like dyslexia and some of the learning disabilities when it comes to reading. All right. Then there's some people call it the self. I call it the CLEF 5, but it's CLEF-5. All right. And that is a really good evaluation that is more general, kind of like the WISC or the WIAT, all right, which are IQ tests. And so I like to combine them because then you get the whole picture. Does that make sense? So if in your reeval they didn't do those 2 tests, I would go back and ask for those 2 tests, or I would ask for an IEE and say, I don't agree with your stuff. I want an IEE, and then ask for those 2 evaluations. But you're welcome to ask the school to just do those 2 evaluations, and they may just do it, you know, but then you can still ask for an IE, and that's your right anyway. So that's what I would do. And the fact that he is not making progress, his progress is below D-, and that is not providing FAPE. It's a procedural violation. So if he's in 1st or 2nd grade as far as reading, and he's in 8th grade, all children, disability or not, must make progress. He hasn't since 1st or 2nd grade. So FAPE isn't being provided to your child, Inez. You're welcome to PM me. We can talk more. We can do a call. But it's a big deal. If your child can't read, they're not going to do well in any other subject. Idea is never going to be accomplished, which is for them to have a productive and a productive life, you know, and to be able to do things with daily living and all these other things. Because think about it, if you can't read the word stop and know that stop means stop moving, then we have issues, you know. I'm a straight shooter. This isn't your fault, but it's a big deal. It's something my own daughter went through. So it's near and dear to my heart. everything about this is, but it kills me that he's in 8th grade and at that level, which means that he's been thrown under the rug, and it's unacceptable. And they're obviously not listening to you or caring about what you have to say because he's still on a 1st or 2nd grade level and he's in 8th grade. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. Really am. Susan says, absolutely no FAPE. Teacher canceled the last 2 sessions for my granddaughter. Oh my God. I can't tell you how many teachers are canceling sessions all the time these days. It's starting to piss me off. They don't get to just cancel when they're at school. I mean, granted, they can be sick, and then there's supposed to be what's called a substitute teacher that comes into play. Where that still has to happen. Like, what is going on with our school systems these days? What the hell are they doing? Why are they not providing the same services, accommodations, modifications, and just general things like a substitute teacher? Why are they not doing that in just daily happenings with virtual learning? What about virtual learning just all of a sudden became some foreign language to the school system? All you guys are doing is going from teaching in school to teaching online. I get it's more difficult, teachers. I'm a teacher. I get it. Okay? I get it. But you still have to do it, and you still have to provide FAPE to these children with special ed. You know, my daughter's a teacher, and it's difficult for her, and she doesn't teach special ed. She's English. And it's hard. I think it's even a ton more work. Parents, it does suck for the teachers too. But I always go back and say, we want to have compassion for our teachers. We want to love our teachers, and we want to appreciate every single thing that they do. But at the same time, if FAPE is not being provided to our children, you know what I mean? My child's coming first. FAPE's going to be provided one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't know about you, for me, understanding and compassion kind of is thrown out the window because my kid has to come first. My child's education has got to come first. I can't go a year and a half because I want to have compassion. I can't. Just like I tell you guys, you got to change your face when you walk into that IEP meeting. And that's not all IEPs, guys. That's not all the time. Never. All those words. It's just what's happening a lot. Okay. She means to text the gen ed, but sent me a, yeah. I've done that before, y'all. I was younger. That sucked, man. I mean, I was just venting. And have you guys ever done that? You know, you want to you're sending a text to somebody and they pissed you off or whatever, and then you send a text to one of your other friends where you're all friends, really. And you sent it back to that person. Oh, God, that's so embarrassing. I did it one time when I was younger. Oh, I learned my lesson quick. Don't talk about people. It taught me a lesson. Don't talk about other people. So I don't. All right. I guess I'm just one of those people. If I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it to you. Okay. Today's election day, y'all. Holy shit. Literally. I'm not going to talk politics with y'all, but holy hell. What are y'all feeling today? You nervous at all? I'm nervous. Crazy, right? All right. But Inez, message me. All right, let's chat because this is a big deal. I mean, I know I'm live publicly right now, but this is big deal. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. Adrian, my son is 5 in kindergarten. I sent in all the forms, still waiting for his IEP. They move him from his class to a small class, but the special ed teacher says he mastered all his classwork and she feels he could have stayed in his big class, but he can't use the potty and can't write, expressing verbally. I'm getting frustrated. Okay. So he's in kindergarten, so I'm guessing last year he was in preschool SPED, like early childhood special education. It's called different things, but you know what I'm saying. And now he is, you're waiting for his IEP. What do you mean by that? His IEP transfers with him. Like if he goes from preschool to kindergarten, that's when a reevaluation is done to make sure that he still qualifies and where to find out where he is, where his baseline is, so that his present levels are on point, and then so on and so forth. And if he mastered all his classwork, awesome! Show me the data. Show me the data. Everything. Precious says, my son's school has in-person learning right now, but he has underlying health issues, so we keep him home, and he will not attend to virtual learning like the computer screen, severely nonverbal autism. What does this mean for his IEP? Oh, he has never had an IEP yet. Okay. So you're going through the evaluations and all that kind of stuff, Adrian? What's going on with that? PM me. Precious, you can PM me too, because you could be running into some serious legal issues, dependent on what you've done so far. Just PM me. There's a lot of intricacies in that one, so let's talk about that. All right, so Adrian, Precious, and Inez, PM me. Tracy, again, you crack me up. If I didn't answer your question in full, PM me so that I can grasp it fully. Susan, you are right. FAPE is not being provided. Tell me what you want to do about it. You're more than welcome to PM me. My discovery call and calendar is closed right now. I'll have availability right near Thanksgiving time. Again, this is the time to start getting that communication going and where I need to get that communication going so that evaluations can get done or IEPs need to be put in place. Then your child has a smooth sailing transition come the new year. This is not the time to say, oh, it's holidays, let's relax, I'll deal with it January 2nd. No. You want to deal with it now. So January 2nd or somewhere around January 2nd through 15th, we get an IEP in place that's proper. All right? No. Unless you want to pull your whole Verizon or Sprint or whatever you got records. All right. I know, Precious, I know. All right, but that doesn't mean anything. All right? Remember, guys, it took me 6.5 years to learn this stuff. All right? And that was trial and error. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I have my master's in educational leadership and my master's in business and management. So, okay, 6.5 years of where I felt like I failed my child. So, lay off on yourselves. All right? Lay off. Do not give yourself a hard time because you're learning this stuff. It is complicated and crazy and nuts. All right. I have been lucky enough to be able to work from home and do this full time. And God, guys, I learn stuff all the time. Okay. So I will talk to you guys soon. Remember, go to the search bar, Autism Mama Rocks IEP group. Tonight I will be doing a live Q&A. All right. I will be posting about the time a bit later. I have a call with a client around 3 o'clock, so I got to get going. And I will talk to you guys soon. Yes. Yeah. Chiquita. Yeah, it is. It is. Um, so, and I actually am going to be training soon. So if you're interested, um, I I'm growing, and instead of being scared, I'm just going to admit this. Instead of being scared of just really growing and it not just be me, because again, I'm type A, guys. I'm like, this is how you got to do it. Um, I am going to be offering training to parents who are wanting to advocate and help other parents. I need parents all over the United States. So if you're interested, PM me. And I will be training and mentoring you to work for Autism Mama Rocks the IEP and help parents and guide parents in your state, to nail that IEP and rock it. And we need more people to do that. I can't. I'm one person. I can't do it all. And I'm really wanting to train people, serious people, who can dedicate, and it doesn't have to be full time or anything like that. You can, again, IEPs are supposed to be agreed upon by all parties. Okay, so you have control over your IEPs. So if you work part time, or you can do it part time, or if you can do it full time, great. I am not sure if I'm going to go physically to each state or if I'm going to just do it online. I think I'm going to do it online, where we have, weekly sessions. There's a lot to learn. I'm creating the format now. So if you're serious and you're interested, I'm looking for people in every state who want to do what I do and kick some ass and get these children what's needed and appropriate. Because, like I said, I'm one person. I can't do it all. So I'd love your help. If you're interested. Okay, so PM me. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, go to Autism Mama Rocks IEP group. I'll be doing a Q&A later on today, and I will post the time later. Post a 1 below if you are new, your first through third time. If you're catching the replay, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.